Hi there, this is a brief intuitive message and energetic check-in for August 20th, 2019. It is about 9:45 here in Connecticut. My name's Paulina. This is Crystal Messages. I've been told that I'm a crystal child or have a crystal aura. So what that means is it's a group of highly intuitive children that were born in the late 80s and early 90s. You may also resonate with indigo children, which is not it's not the same as crystal, but those are more warrior types of people. Crystal is more like I would say like multifaceted, clear aura that is picking up on energy around it. So I'm highly intuitive with energies that are happening in the collective consciousness, and that is what this channel is about. If you'd like to get a reading, I have below this message an email that you can respond to schedule. I can do Skype, FaceTime, or I can do a pre-recorded reading with questions that you've asked. So definitely check that out, and yeah, let's get started. So I'm using Carolyn Meese archetype cards. I think that's what they're called, and Doreen Virtue Fairy cards. So just keeping it a little bit simple with 2 decks tonight. Okay. We got athlete. It says light attributes, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. Shadow attributes, misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. And then we got unity. Do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you. A spiritually minded community. Okay, and we also got the number 5. Just really quick, I feel like these 2 messages in conjunction with each other, I would say, well, the athlete, I'm definitely picking this because I'm an athlete. I am a runner, and I have been, I swim a lot, also more in the winter, and do yoga. So if you're watching this, you might be drawn to this message because it relates to your physical well-being, maybe something that's on your mind. So I feel like this is about knowing your physical limits and like knowing that you're not impervious to like being hurt physically. But I feel like that's such a downer message. I want to like water it down by saying that transcending our handicaps can mean also like accepting our limits in some way. So if you're someone who pushes themselves physically, this could be not just like working out, but it could be a time to realize your vulnerability and find at once strength with it, with that, and then also knowing your limits. I don't know if that makes sense. And then the unity card, the number 5 is a divine number. We have 5 fingers, 5 toes, I mean on each hand, on each foot, 5 senses, other things I can't think of right now, but also it's the persona of number 5 is, I believe it's like a humanitarian number that has to do with goals. Often people who are born with the 5 are salesmen because they're communicators. So it makes sense that it comes up with the word unity. I'm just going to put the card up here so you can see it a little bit better. It's a picture of this old dude talking to children, which is kind of nice, picking up on the physical attributes because I don't know, I feel like showing the youth and the old in the same picture connects us to our inner child, and as we age, we can actually connect with our older self. I don't know if you've ever done a meditation where you're going to, like, you can look up shamanic drum beats on YouTube, and you can go into like a somewhat of a trance if you've ever meditated before, and you can actually ask your older self and your future self questions, and you will receive answers if you're open and ready. So I feel like this is about unity of our past and future selves. Maybe something about knowing your physicality in your space right now is and connecting with your body. Like, I know I was talking about limits before, but I feel like I meant more that limits of life and death. Sorry, I'm just like getting a little info. It says on here, do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you. Spiritually minded community. So the traditional, I guess, in this card would be the older person, and the new ideas is the young. So I feel like this card is about finding unity within yourself, of perhaps unifying different aspects of yourself. Could literally be the old and young, and or also combining we are all unique in this, I would say, in this new age community. If you're watching this, you're a little bit probably different, and you cannot fit a square peg into a round hole, or a round peg into a square hole. And often when we try to fit into society in a certain way, it becomes more of what can I guess, take our life and leave the rest, or like in being in a spiritually minded community, which it says here, you can take, say you were raised in a religion, like I was raised Catholic. I kind of like take aspects of Catholicism that work for me in my current life, and like I wouldn't say I'm like a conservative practicing Catholic or anything like that, and then combine it with beliefs that are more current and make more sense in my life. So this could also be like combining your physicality with the mental. I just want to talk about astrology really quick, and then that's going to be the end of this message. It's just a super short check-in. Right now, we still have the where did it go? Boy. We still have the moon in Aries, which I discussed in my previous video, if you've been watching. Which is going to cause an increased impulsivity, drive, and cause us to connect with our innate selves. Often, I mentioned this before as well, Aries can be channelers, because they're connecting with a raw, intuitive energy in ways that others aren't. That's why they're often the fire starters. They're the first sign. They're initiators as people. So this may be a time where you're initiating new things in your emotional life or emotional world, as the moon rules our emotions and our interior world, and our inner feelings and our inner self. The sun is in Leo, so this sort of intensity is tempered by a playfulness, connecting with the inner child, the inner artist. It's the child sign, and so it is like we got the baby the Aries is the baby. We got the baby in our inner self. We got the child is the overall theme of the month, and then we also have Mercury and Venus in Leo, which is gonna, in terms of our love life and our communication, we may be celebrating, we may be talking to children or about children, or talking about creativity, or there may be an aspect of in our love and our communication that is calling us to let loose and have fun in a way. Leo is a sign that loves to party. They also are a fixed sign. So if you follow astrology or know anything about the planets, there's fixed, mutable, the signs, there's fixed, mutable, and cardinal. And a fixed sign, such as myself, I'm a Scorpio, they will sort of this is stuck in their ways types. They are not budging from their perceived stance. So it may be a time where there's a lot of, what am I trying to say? There's a lot of intensity in your decisions that are having to do with fixed ways. I don't know if that is making any sense. We also have Mars in Virgo, which I mentioned also in my previous video, which is going to take all of this creative fire energy that's going on in our love life, in our communication, our overall self, in our interior worlds. There's a lot of fire. It's going to focus it and make us channel that towards, so this is a great time to pick something up in the home that is about orderliness, organizing, being meticulous. Virgos are critical of their environment. That is their skill. They're also the sign of work, so you could be taking creative risks influenced by all the fire in your work life. We also have what I'm going to talk about. I guess I'll talk about the Neptune in Pisces right now. That's going to give this emotion, there's maybe a psychic creative energy going on deeper than the Leo's creative and this intense. Often Leos are actors, or their body is actualized in their creative endeavors because it's a fire sign. And the Pisces energy of the water's creativity is very different creativity than fire sign. It's intuitive, emotional. It comes from a different, an emotional world rather than a world of. I feel that often Leo's creativity is about conflating their own issues with their ego, or navigating those issues, because they are artists, they have an interior world, and they want to express that. And that can create inferiority complex. Often many Leos are shy. Anyway, besides the point, having Neptune in Pisces right now, I just want to read what this astrologer says, because I really like how she phrases things. Neptune beckons you to slow down, way down. When it touches you personally, you'll know it. Neptune will do what is necessary to dissolve elements in your life that need to go, sometimes without your consent. Friendships, loves, work, people, and even your own health may slip away in order to help you focus on yourself. When our minds are full of chatter and we're too busy with power deals or mortgage payments, Neptune will readjust the landscape so that you will have ample time for our inner lives. And it goes on. It says it's an ally for creative types, and dreams and visions can be vivid. Compassion's elevated. I feel like, in conjunction with what else is going on with all the fire and the Virgo, which is gonna make that fire more organized, that energy more focused. Having the Neptune it calls for a time of being Neptune, Pisces and Neptune, of being in your interior world, in honoring your aloneness, your solitude, and finding enlightenment. Pisces is like a very spiritual sign. It's about visions. It's about creativity being channeled. So see if you can. My challenge to you the next couple of days is to see if you can temper that fire energy with dropping deep inside of yourself, as you're being meticulous in your environment from the Virgo. So we're connecting with the primal internal energy of Aries, the intense Leo vibe that's all over right now. Mercury, Venus, and and Sun affecting our overall energy levels, how we're communicating, and with Venus causing us to be more creative in our love life. And then I would say I want to like funnel all of that into like going within yourself with those aspects of fire and the discernment of Virgo. So, yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see if this rings true for you at all this next couple of days, and have a great day.